Good evening and welcome to the Season 15 premiere of RTN Tonight, Glassboro's favorite mid-afternoon late-night talk show. I'm Jacob Michaud. Tonight, Mikey Best from Chi Upsilon Sigma is in the studio, and later on we will be playing RTN Tonight's Guess That Song, so stay tuned for that. But first, our Rowan news of the week. The Eagles won the Super Bowl, so let's shave our heads. I'm not kidding. 2 members of Rowan Radio shaved their heads on the air this week after keeping their word from a bet they made back in October. Apparently, there wasn't enough buzz to report on the radio, so they resorted to buzz cuts. Instead of publicly embarrassing themselves out on Broad Street, they brought the potential embarrassment to Rowan's campus. Luckily for these two, they pull off the look very well. And as a bonus, they won't have to worry about doing their hair for the next 6 weeks. The best part about this is the polar opposite reactions. Aiden looks like a kid on Christmas, and Brett looks like he forgot his essay was due last night. As a matter of fact, if the Sixers win the NBA Finals, I will shave my head. Talk about a pointless bet. They're not even going to make the playoffs. Last year, a woman from London walked into her room and encountered one of the most terrifying and scarring things ever: a single spider. This one spider was enough to make the woman move out and sleep in her flatmate's room all the way up until just recently. The spider-fearing woman finally moved back into her room, but she now sleeps inside of a tent on top of her bed, because what's better than waking up with a spider on you and having no easy way to actually get yourself up out of the bed? The woman claims she hasn't seen a spider ever since. It's funny how she thinks the tent is what scared the spiders away, because that sleeping position might be the scariest thing I've seen all year. Spiders definitely saw her and went, "Looks like she already has enough issues, we'll bother somebody else." It was recently reported that a 26-year-old man has spent a grand total of over $4,000 collecting creepy dolls. His collection totals about 250 dolls, which he began collecting at the age of 16. He claims that it was his calling to collect these dolls. I mean, yeah, I'd agree that it's a calling to get a real hobby. The best part of all is that his partner, who has been with him for several years, has absolutely no issues with the collection and thinks it's, quote, a great thing for him. It turns out that this guy collects houseplants for a living. And people said I was weird for collecting Pokemon. Now we're just waiting for these two to break up one afternoon when Robbie is about to water his plants and then realizes his boyfriend gave the last cup of water to Raggedy Ann. I thought this story was a bit weird, but then I saw these guys were from New Jersey and it all made sense. This last story ought to bring the boom, as an opossum was rushed to an animal rehab center last week after consuming the entirety of a Costco chocolate cake. Life can't possibly be that hard and stressful for an opossum, but apparently a chicken bake with a double chunk chocolate cookie wasn't enough to cope. If this opossum plays her cards right, she'll have a viral TikTok account by next week, she'll be a guest on Jimmy Fallon by next month, and she will be at next year's Super Bowl. Because that's just how the internet works. The least surprising part of this story is seeing all of the Facebook moms who literally ate this post up. Many of the comments were along the lines of, "Me too, girl, me too." You blame us Gen Z for scrolling through TikTok all the time, when I know darn well all of you are cackling at 2 a.m. to a post of a minion that says, "Exercise? I thought you said extra fries." However, I must admit that I've grown to appreciate Facebook mom humor yesterday, as I've seen kids unironically screaming about rizzing the huzz. I'm convinced that Gen Alpha was created to make Gen Z feel better about themselves. When we come back, I'll have the pleasure of chatting with Mikey Best of Chi Upsilon Sigma on Tonight Talks. So don't change that channel. We'll be right back. Welcome back to RTN Tonight. If you're just tuning in, let me introduce our guests for this episode's Tonight Talks. Tonight, I'm joined by Chi Upsilon Sigma's very own Mikey Best. Yes, of course. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you so much.
Very nice to meet you. Glad to have you here for our very first episode of the season.
This is so exciting. I'm glad to be the first, and I'm glad to be here.
So let me just ask, how are you tonight? What's been going on
for you? Good. I'm really good. Today's been a long day, but I'm happy to be here. I feel like this was something to look forward to today. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, thank you so much for coming here. So first things first, for the people at home, because we are a show for the people, what made you decide to join Chi Epsilon Sigma?
So I feel like a question like that is kind of loaded, but essentially, I will say that I was first introduced to Chi Epsilon Sigma because my mom is a sister. She's actually a sister specifically from here at Rowan. So that our chapter is called Lambda Chapter. So I got to meet and get familiar with the sisterhood and the sisters through my mother. And then I got to college, and I was pretty confident that I was not going to be a part of Greek life. Like, I actually thought that I was going to stay very far away from it because I grew up in Greek life. My parents are both Greek.
Right.
My dad's a Q. My mom's a Kazi from here.
Yeah, so you got that family connection.
Yeah, so I have the family connections, exactly. I'm literally a legacy. So.
Yeah. And you know, that's the thing about college. So many people they have these plans coming in, and then they're like, oh, you know what? I actually am interested in this more than I thought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. Essentially, like the sisters, I just saw them at an org fair, and I got to talk to them on a level of like, I'm an adult now.
Right.
I grew up around them, but like now I'm an adult, and so like I got to build those bonds, and I don't know, something about them really just caught my attention, and I couldn't see myself in any other organization. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so about like so thank you for telling us all that about yourself. That's amazing. Just glad to hear that. So can you tell us more about like the sorority itself, just like as a whole, and like what makes it so interesting for the people at home?
Absolutely. So our official name is Corazones Unidos Siempre of Chi Upsilon Sigma National Latin Sorority Incorporated. It's very long, but Corazones Unidos Siempre means Hearts United Always. So we were founded on April 29th in 1980 at Rutgers, New Brunswick by 7 Latina women. So essentially around that time, Latin Americans just didn't feel like they fit in. There's Greek organizations with NPHC, which is the National Panhellenic Council, and then there's D9 or Divine Nine, which is predominantly, Black Greek organizations. So there were organizations for essentially everybody but Latin Americans, so they wanted to do something about that and create what we call a home away from home.
Absolutely. And,
so what makes Cuz a little bit different though is that a lot of Greek organizations have a brotherhood or a sisterhood affiliation, but we do not. We were the first independent Latina sorority, so we don't have a brotherhood affiliation or any other organization attached to our name. And we are also the first Latina sorority to step and stroll.
Wow, that's a really great thing, you guys. For you guys, I'm so glad you guys were able to get it up off the ground, especially like no brotherhood affiliation or anything like that. So that's very impressive for you guys. You guys doing great things. And then
founders did that.
Another question for the people at home: what kind of events do you guys typically do?
So a big thing for Chi Epsilon Sigma is that we want to basically empower our communities, our college communities, as well as our communities of where we're from. So a lot of what I do is I am the only sister who's active here on campus, actually. So a lot of our programs that we currently have are things that interest me. Or things that I want to make a difference in necessarily. But a lot of the things that I do, like education to me is so important. I was blessed to be here on scholarship. So for me, like I like to do educational programs, for instance, to help people with resumes or help people learn like just how to decipher when they're reading job interviews or like how to go to a job interview or things like that, like business professional. I'm also a business major, so
that's
things
amazing.
like that, things
definitely.
like that do interest me. But we also do fun things too. It's not just all about the business or the professional aspect. We do a lot of fun things. Like we just did like vision boards. We're gonna have like this community can project that's coming later on in April. So
you hear that later on in April? Yeah, stay tuned for that, guys.
But we do a lot of things. I don't know, a lot of community service. A lot of programs are aimed to at least have some sort of like educational aspect to it, whether it's political, social, cultural, just some sort of awareness where we can make a difference. So every time somebody comes to a program, they feel impacted by something.
That is, once again, such an amazing story, and I'm a fellow here by scholarship student, so I very much relate to what you're saying, and I just really appreciate how you obviously go out, have fun, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, but I like how you guys look into the future and look into life. You guys, 100%. Value what's going on just past college, and I think
100%.
That's a fantastic thing for you guys.
Definitely.
So I know you said you ended up joining basically because of like personal connections and getting to really meet the people face to face, but were there any, like as a senior, like was there anyone in your sorority that you specifically looked up to like in the process of getting into the sorority?
Yeah, there's a few people, but I have one specific sister who what we call is our cuz light, who is basically somebody who genuinely like ignited that fire that we have, our love for cuz. And cuz is what we call Chi Epsilon Sigma for short, because that's kind of long. But her name is Leilani Hinton. She is my prophyte, which means that she was the line before me. So, well, she was a part of the line before me. She's a line of two. But specifically her, she had known who my mom was. She had known that I was a legacy, or I could have been a potential legacy at the time. And it didn't really like blend in our friendship. Like nothing ever was always about Chi Epsilon Sigma. It was like she wanted to get to know me for me. And
that's amazing.
When I came here, I felt like Rowan is a PWI. So for me, I wasn't comfortable in all my settings. So I felt like she made me feel comfortable in a lot of those settings. And I was able to look up to her in a way of like, you know, like she wasn't the most outgoing person, but look where she is, you know, like she was able to get here. Look how far she's gotten. So she's definitely somebody that I look up to. Still to this day, I love her to death. And she is definitely a big reason as to why I decided to join Greek life. That
is so awesome to hear. And then lastly, our good old shameless plug question. Is there anything you would like to promote for your sorority?
Specifically, we do have a photo challenge coming up. So if you want to get to know like us more personally and like see who our chapter is, our sisters are, you can follow our Instagram at cuz_lambda. And then next month is actually our 30th year as a chapter here on Rowan. So we'll be doing a whole bunch of programs towards the end of the month, which it's a full week full of programs. We'll have fundraisers with empanadas, which everybody loves. And I believe I have 3 programs, something about AI, the canned one, and one more, but that's a surprise. So yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Follow our Instagram.
Stay tuned, guys. You're not hearing it all right here. You guys got to do the other stuff yourselves.
Exactly.
So once again, Mikey, thank you so much for coming on to the show. If you would like to learn more about this sorority, follow them on Instagram at cuz_lambda. That is CUS_lambda, not Huz, not to be confused with Huz, as I was hearing at the bowling alley last weekend. But anyways, enough with that. And guys, don't go anywhere just yet. When we come back, me and Mikey, we're going to be back to play one of our new games, Guess That Song, here on RTN tonight. And then we'll end the night with Mikey spinning our world-famous game wheel. We'll be back in just a jiff. Hello and welcome back to RTN Tonight. If you're just tuning in, I'm joined by our wonderful guest of the night, Mikey Best.
Hello.
Mikey and I are about to play a brand new game. It's called Guess That Song. How original. Simple as it sounds, we will play a random song and all Mikey has to do is guess the song to gain a point. Mikey, are you ready to play the game?
Yeah, I mean, as ready as I'm going to be.
All right, here we go.
It's fun.
Am I allowed to participate? Or is it just her? I'm buzzing in.
Oh yeah.
But Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles.
Darn. That definitely is Watermelon Sugar. I've heard it, but I would have never guessed the title.
That is correct.
All right. I didn't know if I was supposed to participate. It just said
No,
Mikey.
you participate. It's not a game if I'm the only one doing it.
It just said
please.
Mikey's going to guess it.
I want it
so
to be a
wasn't sure.
competition, you know? Okay, I'm ready.
Just gonna
Boom! That's my buzz.
I forgot to say ding.
Love the Way You Lie, Rihanna and Eminem.
Wow. All right. It's one each, huh? So, okay. I was 0 for 2.
You just need a better life than this.
Boom!
Ooh.
Heat Waves by Glass Animals.
What?
Oh my God.
Oh my
Holy
gosh.
crap. This was a streak
Jacob,
end.
this is crazy.
I didn't even know I was going to do
was
this
not
well.
supposed to be, yeah, like.
You wanna steal.
What is it called?
What is it called?
Moves Like Jagger, Maroon 5. I couldn't think of the title.
Yo. Guys, I might as well not play.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not going to play. No, I'm just kidding. It's okay. You're killing it. Like,
Dude,
I can't think of this that fast.
This is the first ever Guess That Song game, so I'm like trying to make us look. I'm so
They
sorry.
better switch the soundtracks. no.
Dude,
Ding.
I want to let you have a chance at it. Go ahead.
Oh, you know the song?
I think. But
I
what do you
would
got?
never be able to guess the name.
But you know who sings it?
No.
Bad Guy Billie Eilish.
Oh my God! Guys, these are I don't listen to any of these. Well, except for Rihanna.
The funny thing is, this is the only music I listen. I only listen to 2000s and later. I don't listen to anything from back then. If you put me on something back then, I'd be cooked.
Darn.
I need somebody to heal.
Ding.
Somebody.
I'm really hoping the title is Somebody to Heal because.
Oh, that helped me. Boom. Someone you loved, Louis Capaldi.
Not boom that helped me. They didn't even confirm if it was right or not. Darn, I literally lost.
I'm
it's
so
okay.
sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
So sorry. Play something from back then. Oh, I know this too. I know it too. Boom. One Kiss, Dua Lipa.
Why does he know
I
all
think
the
Calvin
titles?
Harris produced it. I think it's with Calvin Harris.
Guys, I would have
think.
never gotten that.
Literally, that's the only era of music I know. I did not.
You did bring the boom.
I
I
went
did
to
not
Dua
bring
Lipa's
the ding.
concert as well. So
It's
I've
okay.
been on Dua Lipa's tour. So.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Mikey. Well, Mikey, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for giving me the ego boost about music knowledge that I needed tonight. I'm just
Thank
kidding.
you for having
No,
me.
seriously,
Thank
thank
you
you so much. But before you go, let's take a walk over to our famous RTN Tonight game wheel, where we will have Mikey spin the wheel and decide what game will be featured on the next episode of RTN Tonight.
I hope I spin better for y'all, because this game literally
And this
trapped
is
me
all
up.
you.
This was horrible.
I'm not going to intervene on this one.
Oh, God. Well, I hope if it is Guess That Song, y'all know the songs.
Telling you, if it was before 2000, I would have been absolutely cooked. I don't know anything.
I just don't listen to that genre, you know? It's okay, though.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I only really listen to pop. It was literally right up my
That's
alley.
like the only genre I don't listen to.
Go listen to Tate McRae's new album. All right,
Oh,
and
Pictionary. That's
a game I'm
fun.
definitely bad at. So if they're playing me next week, then I guess we'll have a better chance.
Best of luck in your Pictionary game.
That was a great spin, Mikey. And it looks like next week we're going to be playing Pictionary. So make sure to tune in next week to find out what this game is, if you don't know what it is already, and what guests we will have for next episode. Once again, thank you so much, Mikey, for coming on to the show. And thank you to our audience for tuning in to RTN Tonight. We're live on YouTube and on Instagram every Tuesday around 8 p.m. Make sure you subscribe to Rowan Television Network and turn on that notification bell for all RTN Tonight live episode notifications. I'm Jacob Michaud. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week, Glassboro.